Hey guys, welcome back to part 4. So sorry. This will go quick though. I think this will be easy now. So in this last part of the lesson, this is the part where we're going to come up with the rules for the rotations, and that'll allow you to graph them on your own, okay? Without just having to spin the paper. So this is actually, I think, number 5 from the lesson worksheet, but it doesn't matter. What I want to do is try to come up with a rule for a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. So what we're going to do is write down the coordinates of 2 corresponding points. So let's use H. The coordinates of H and H prime, okay? So the coordinates of H are right 5, up 1. The coordinates of H prime are left 1, up 5. So hopefully that will help you figure out what the rule is. The original XY maps to, well, what happened from here to here? The X's and the Y's flipped, so now it's going to be a YX. And then one of them also changed signs. So this original Y turned into a -1. So this guy switched signs. Okay, so this tells you the rule for a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. So now if I give you a point, any point, let's say I make up the point, -3, 2. When you map it using a 90-degree rotation, the new coordinates would be, what does this say to do? Y is first, so we're going to flip it. Keep the signs the same at first. And then change the sign of the first one. That's how you read that rule. It tells you what to do. It says reverse it because Y is first. Change the sign of the first one. Okay? So that is a 90-degree rotation rule. Now let's do this part of your lesson worksheet. Okay? For a 90-degree rotation, XY will map to, reverse it, and change the sign of the first one. Now let's apply that to these problems, okay? So when I reverse, I keep the signs exactly as they are, and then I change the sign of the first one. So A maps to A prime, reverse, change the sign of the first one. That's it, okay? So you can try the next 2 on your own, or you can watch me, whatever you prefer. Reverse. Change the sign of the first one. Reverse. Change the sign of the first one. Okay? That's the rule for a 90-degree rotation. Next, we're going to do the rule for 180 degrees. Okay, so this is an example of a graph that's been rotated 180 degrees, which you should notice because it's 2 quadrants away. To figure out the rule, we're going to just pick one point and compare it to its new image. So which point do you want? I don't care. Let's go with T this time. So I'm going to write down the coordinates of T and T prime. And you got to be real careful with writing them down so that you can figure out your rule correctly. So the coordinates of T are right 2 and up 4. The coordinates of T prime are left 2 and down 4. And now let's try to figure out our rule. Coordinates of XY map to. Okay, so did the order change from T to T prime? Nope, so that means it stays XY. Did the signs change from T to T prime? And yes, both of them changed. So there's our rule. And this tells you when you have a 180-degree rotation, you keep the order the same because it's still X and Y. The negative in front tells you to change the sign. Okay? So now let's apply that to your worksheet. So on the second part of your worksheet, this is a 180-degree rotation. Whoops, sorry. Go back. Okay, this is a 180-degree rotation. Let's write down the rule. XY maps to, keep the order the same, change both signs. Okay, that's your rule. All right, now let's apply that rule. Keep the order the same, 2, 1 stays 2, 1, change the signs. Easy. Okay, the hard part is going to be remembering these rules, but I'll show you a trick for that when we're all done. Okay, keep the order the same, change the signs. -3, -8. Keep the order the same, change the signs. Okay, that's 180 degrees. Next, we're going to do the last one, 270 degrees. Now, for this one, I had to cheat. I got to change these symbols. I have it backwards. If I start it with this way, this is actually a 90-degree rotation. If I leave it the way it is, and I don't want to do 90 degrees again, I want to go from here around to here, 270. So I have to rewrite these coordinates first. So let's treat the blue image as our pre-image, our original shape. That means I've got to get rid of these prime symbols. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let me neaten this up. Okay, so I'm going to rename it so that the blue shape is our starting shape. So I'm going to pick any one of the points. I'll call this one A. And now I have to find A prime, which I'm going to assume was given to you. Okay, so again, pretend that we started with the blue shape and we mapped it to the black shape. I relabeled it, so we're going to compare A and A prime, and this is a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation, okay? So let's figure out our rule. Write down the coordinates of A and A prime. Okay, A is right 5 up 3. A prime is right 3 down 5. Okay, now let's try to figure out our rule. XY maps to, okay, did the order stay the same from A to A prime? Nope, it reversed, so now we know we have a YX. Now compare the sign. This sign changed, so my original X, which is now here, changed sign. So this guy changes the sign. Now, what does that mean? How are you going to use this for the next problem? If I give you a point, any point, I'll make one up right now. If I gave you the point -3, 2, this rule says switch the order, which would get, and leave the signs the same at first, switch the order, okay? Then change the sign of the second one. Okay, that's what that rule says. This negative doesn't mean your answer is going to be negative. It means it's going to be the opposite. All right, so go to your worksheet one last time, and let's apply this rule and write it down on your worksheet for your notes. Okay, first write that rule down. For a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation, XY maps to change the order and change the sign of the second one. Okay, so how does that work? Okay, let's do A and A prime. Change the order, reverse, change the sign of the second one. Okay, change the order, change the sign of the second one. Change the order, change the sign of the second one. Okay, so now you've done all 3 of the rules. Now we just have to try to figure out how to memorize them. It's easier than you think. Okay, so let's summarize the 3 rules, and you can look at your notes and verify. For 90 degrees, we reversed and changed the sign of the first one. For 270, we also reversed, but changed the sign of the second one. Okay, and then what was the rule for 180? That one you don't reverse at all. Just change both signs. Okay, these are all of your rules for counterclockwise rotations, but we have to also do clockwise, but we'll worry about that on another day. So you might want to take a picture of this or write this down on your own. Remember, 90, try to memorize. 90 and 270 reverse, 180 does not. Okay, for 90, change the sign of the first one. For 270, change the sign of the second one. Believe it or not, if you write this down a few times in this order, it'll stick in your head, I promise. If it doesn't, what you have to do is figure it out each time, okay? And if you had to figure it out on the fly, let me show you how you could do that. Let's say you forget, it's months away and you forget, okay? Let me show you how you could fix that. Okay. If you forgot the rule in the future and you had to figure it out, just draw one point, any point, on a coordinate plane. I'm going to use the point 20, okay? If I rotate it 90 degrees, it goes here. Oops, sorry. If I rotate it 90 degrees, it would go here. So what would the new coordinates be? Okay, I just realized that's not the best example, but I don't want to redo this whole video. So I don't want to use that example because you can't see changing the sign of the 0. I'm going to use a different point. I'm going to use the point 21. Okay, if I use the point 21 and I visualize literally turning my piece of paper one turn, okay, literally turn it sideways one time, then maybe you can see, hopefully, that it would become this point with a 90-degree rotation. Okay, so my 2, 1 ends up turning into negative 1, 2. Now I'm going to save how to come up with this on your own on the fly. I'm going to save that for tomorrow's video because I think you guys have had enough. But this is what you're going to use today, these rules. Okay, and they're not difficult to do. I just need to work on how do you memorize them. Okay, good luck, guys. Good luck with your homework. Hope you're doing well. Bye.